Hi everyone. Uh, Hoping that you all are fine. So we just got the advanced information for December 23 exam, right? So we're gonna be reviewing that December 23 advanced or pre-seen material, and that I'll be giving you my guess of the questions, right? That what are the questions that we can expect. Along with that, I'll uh, give you the sample questions which you need to attempt, right? Sample questions to be attempted before the exam. See, many of the questions I have solved with you guys, but now it's time that you solve some questions on your own in an exam condition and then submit it to me for checking, right? So sample questions to be attempted by student and then get it checked, guys, right? At least I need some time to check it. So make sure you send me that, right? So we'll be reviewing the complete pre-seen material, right? Then I'll be giving you some questions that what do I think they will be examined, right? Then I'll be asking you to solve some of the questions so that you guys can be prepared, right? So far the response has been great. Many of the students are solving this questions in exam time and condition, and in fact they have sent me those questions for checking, and I've been checking regularly, right? So it's a good thing. The more you practice, the more you're gonna be uh, getting a chance for the pass, right? So again, we have a content here, and obviously it's a similar pattern. The advanced information or the pre-seen material, it's a similar pattern. For the September 23, it is followed in the same pattern, right? The thing is that now we have a service sector, right? As I've told you guys earlier, that in SBL the industry matters, right? If you have worked in that industry and you got a question on that industry, so for example, I work in pharmaceuticals, and if I got a question on pharmaceutical, I'll be knowing much more than what the examiner has asked me, right? So I'll be closely integrating the information that I've got, and I'll be easily handling that, right? So similarly, in the September 23, we got aviation industry, airline industry, right? And now we have got a cloud service industry. So that's a service sector, and I don't think so you guys might have been working there, or you guys have an experience of that sector. So this sector is a difficult thing, and generally when we got a service sector, we usually find that question difficult, right? If you remember the questions that I told you to attempt, the TT for you, it was a service sector question, right? And if you guys have attempted that, you must have faced a difficulty in it, because the requirements are not that much straightforward. You don't have that much numbers there to work on. So service sectors are kind of a difficult one. But again, since it's the initial stages, initial attempts of the SBL changes, you might be given an easy question, right? But so far we have the introduction table and a content table, where we have introduction, where we have industry information, where we have NC Tech overview. That means our company name is NC Tech, right? And we have got the overview of that. See, I'll just recommend you that after this class, read this 5-6 times, right? Because see, I don't want you guys to waste time in exam on reading or searching for the answers or the pointers here, right? Make sure you make your summarized version of this advanced information and then send it to me also, right? So that I could see in it that if you haven't missed, if you have missed or anything, or you need to add on it, right? So once you have seen these classes, make sure you read at least 5 to 6 times this advanced information. Reason being that in exam you should remember each and every point mentioned on each and every page, right? There are only 9 pages, right? So this is kind of a easy thing. Now this paper has been an easy thing, right? Because initially you don't know about the industry, but now you know about the industry. Now you know about the things. Now you can guess the questions that you can get from it, right? So I would just suggest you to read this pre-scene once you have taken this class, right? So let's just see this. the introduction, right? NC Tech, this is our company, is a well-known cloud service company, right? Cloud service company, that means the storage facility. They give us the storage facility, right? Storage, and we are totally using the cloud, right? I can access my any data because it's uploaded on drives and uploaded on the Apple iCloud, I would say. So it's basically a sector that gives you storage services, right? Operating in Farland. So Farland is our country, a developed country, right? It is a developed country. A point for Pestle. There can be a question on Pestle. So a point that we operate in a developed country. So there must be no currency deviations or not that much difference or some uncertain economic conditions. So this is a good country, right? Similarly, which is the home to many technological companies. So there are many technological companies, right? NC Tech was founded by 3 software engineers. So NC Techs have been founded by 3 software engineers. Now, NC Tech has grown dramatically during the first 10 years of operation. So it has grown dramatically for the first 10 years, right? So we have gone a significant growth. So this is one of the major points. I'll highlight the major points and you can mention it on your pointers, right? Then the 3 founding owners remain fully committed to the business, currently hold the position of chief executive, commercial director, and operation director. So we have the founders working on, right? So this is a good sign that founders of this company are working, right? Founders of this company are working in the company. So it gets you motivated, right? Now, cloud service industry information. See, we have got the industry information, but you must be remembering that you are totally using this industry regularly, right? That my classes, the LMS that you are using is on a cloud, right? My classes are on a cloud. My complete data is on a cloud. If my mobile is gone, no worries. I have the backup. I'll just download that. So this service is being used by each and every person, I would say, right? A person, a housewife, an engineer, an accountant, they are totally using the clouds. So this industry is being used by many people. In fact, you can see that it has an revenue in billions, right? It has a revenue in billions. So there have been some industry information. Let's just look into it. Cloud service companies offer data storage facilities, right? As I told you, they offer data storage facilities. So it's one of the product, not the only product, but one of the product, right? It's not the only product here. Then with many also providing a wide range of computing services. Now what's the computing services, sir? What exactly is the computing service? It includes all computing service. That includes provision of softwares, that include bookkeeping, that includes managing of softwares, that including managing of staff. Each and every service that a cloud one can give to employee or can give to the client is computing service. So that means they do not, these industries normally do not just give data storage, but they give any of the service that client require, right? Any of the service that client require over the internet to user clients, right? Over the internet to user clients. So competitive pricing has made cloud services a financially viable option. Yeah. Why? Because see, being myself, I won't recommend that I should have a laptop where I must be having my classes, where I must be having all the data. I just need it on my fingertips, right? And for that, I need to upload that on my cloud, and I'll use wherever I am. I'll just log into my ID and password, and then I'll get my data. So that means this is a financially viable option, right, to clients. And see, if I am very likely of using the cloud, think of the organizations that have plenty of data, that have very greater amount of data. So the managing of data is carries an extra cost, right? Managing of data carries the cost. So if you have got an option where your data can be stored without even incurring a significant storage cost, you're going to be opting for it, right? For sure. And for the students, those who are seeing this class and have a question, they can text on WhatsApp. My numbers are with you, right? And in fact, mention on the captions. Now, the cloud service industry in Farland has been established for more than a decade. So it's an old industry, and it's an grown industry, and continues to grow to meet the needs and demands of the market. particularly among small, medium-sized enterprises and C individual professionals. Now, each and every company require this, right? Each and every company go for these services cloud because they are very easy, I must say, right? They are very easy. They are very less costly. They are very less manageable. Sometimes we are hesitating, right? Sometimes we are hesitating in managing the cost because we don't want to hire employees for that. We don't want to look for other options. We don't want to use some expensive resources. So therefore, we outsource it, and by outsourcing, the headache is not ours. It's of the outsourcer, right? So we do not have to hire. We do not have to go for a heavy equipments. We do not have to look for these options. We have just got an outsourcer who will provide all the options, right? Yeah. So key statistics. Here are some key statistics. Percentage of client data stored. So in globally, 52% data of person is stored in cloud, whereas in Farland, 38% of data. And total revenue, 155 billion global and 8.3 billion Farland, and top 10 cloud services, 74% and 85%. So that means that in Farland, there's greater scope of this industry, right? In Farland, there's greater scope of this industry than the world, right? So it's a good thing. Yeah. Now, cloud services companies can provide free service models to clients, right? So these are the products, right? So these are the products that you guys offer here. One is infrastructure as a service, one is platform as a service, and one is software as a service. So we have IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, right? So we have IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Now, what's that? See, in infrastructure as a service, right? In infrastructure as a service is a basic service. It's a basic one. It's a simpler one. It's a basic one. It's a minor one, I'll say, right? Which provides network servers and data storage facilities directly over the internet. So this service just give you storage capacity, right? So this infrastructure as a service give you storage facilities, not anything else, right? This gives you storage facilities and not anything else, right? While in infrastructure, client lease server capacity for data processing and storage. So it means it's totally a storage facility. It will give you a very minor data processing, and it will give you a place where you can store your data. So it's simply a cloud. In infrastructure as a service, you guys just offer simply a cloud, and then the client will use the other things, right? See here written is client use their own in-house expertise to install and run the software application. So you do not give any other thing, right? You do not give any other thing. You'll just give in storage that the client can keep the data there, right? Then we have platform as a service. Now what's that? So in platform provides clients with all services provided by IaaS. That means in platform as a service, this service is included, right? In platform as a service, this service is included. And in addition, it offers communication software, which enables access to cloud service providers' operating system. And along with that, they give you communication softwares, which will enable your operating systems, right? Which will enable your operating systems, right? You got this point? So basically in this platform as a service, in platform as a service, what does it include? It includes communication software, which enables access to cloud service operating systems, right? That means in platform as a service, the client allows client to run their software applications on the provider's operating system. right? Now, so in platform as a service, it provided, in addition, it offers communication software, which enables access to cloud service providers and operating systems, right? Now in PaaS, allows clients to run their own software applications on the provider's operating system, right? On the provider's operating system. Now software as a service. Now what's that? The software as a service. So it SaaS provides the clients with all services provided by PaaS, and it also, where particular software applications are hosted centrally by the cloud service provider for use of clients. So in software as a service, what they do, they usually give both of these services. In fact, PaaS service, and along with that, the SaaS allows data to be accessed and processed by the client on the cloud server as if it were installed on a client's own computer system. Now that means you do not have to do anything. The whole of a headache is to the outsourcer. It gives you each and everything, right? Here a summary is given also. Here a summary is given also. Provision of data servers, data storage facilities, networking resources, communication software, operating system, and in IaaS, this is included, right? The provision of data servers, data storage facilities, networking resources, right? And in platform as a service, the extra two features are communication software and operating systems. And in software as a service, they give you a data software application also. So if you're going for this one, so that means each and everything lies with the outsourcer here, right? So see, similarly, it's with all the services provided by PaaS, and it's also where particular software applications are hosted centrally. So that means all your software applications will be hosted by the service provider, not by you. That means every headache has been transferred to the outsourcer here, right? Every headache have been transferred to the outsourcer here, right? So now, with SaaS, the cloud service provider effectively handles all components of the service, right? So the cloud service provider effectively handles all components. So the client does not need its own specialist IT hardware and software, right? So as SaaS is a premium service, it is the most expensive. And we got this, right? Because it's a most expensive because it offers you each and everything, right? It offers you each and every. Yeah. So now, the range and extent of services offered under each model determines the fees chargeable. And in fact, you can see that each and every service is included in SaaS, right? Whereas in platform, the data software application is not included. Whereas in infrastructure, only these three facilities are included, right? So that makes SaaS a most important one, and in fact, the expensive one. Now, cloud service delivery. So there are three ways in which the services can be delivered. So firstly, there was the products. It was the product here, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a services. And now we have cloud service delivery, the public cloud, the private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. Now what's that? See, so there are three ways in which three cloud service models can be delivered, right? So there are three ways in which three cloud service models can be delivered: the public cloud, the private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. Now, what's the public cloud? It offers the required technological infrastructure and services over the cloud to any organization on a pay-as-you-use basis. Now this is just like that you have been given a public pool and you can store your data there, right? And pay as you use the amount of data and the time you require to use. So the public cloud does not target particular clients or client groups, and it is hosted from the cloud service providers facilities, right? So in the public cloud, it's basically a pool available to each and everyone, and this is usually used by the individuals or for where the data is not that much critical here. You can use that, right? So the public cloud does not target particular clients or client groups, right? So it is hosted from cloud service providers facilities, right? Now, the private cloud, it provides computing infrastructure for the exclusive use of specific business clients. Now here, this is not the general one, right? It's the private one. So there, it must be an expensive type of delivery service, right? Usually the entities and usually the companies, the sole traders, which have some crucial amount of data, they use the private cloud, right? Similarly, see, it's best suited for large businesses which demand considerable and more complex computer processing capability. So we do not offer just the data, we do not offer just the storage, but we offer the complexity also, right? We offer the complexities here also. So it's best suited for large businesses which in demand considerable and more complex computer processing capability, right? The private cloud can either be located in client's facility or hosted at a designated cloud service, third-party commercial site. Private cloud services are charged at a premium price because it can be used at a commercial site. We'll just give you a place and a private particularly occupation where no one else can enter rather than yours, and we'll give you the computing services also. If you need data analytics, if you need any particular processing, we'll give you that, right? And similarly, it's the best suited for the business ones, therefore it's expensive. But the second delivery is expensive, right? And then we have the hybrid cloud. Now, what's that? Then we have the hybrid cloud. It's basically a combination of both public and private cloud models, right? So more important aspects of the client's operation can be hosted on a private cloud facility, right? So more important aspect of the client's operations can be hosted on a private cloud facility with more general business functions run on a public cloud. This provides clients with greater flexibility, and although it's more expensive than public cloud, it's significantly cheaper than the private cloud, right? Now, what's the hybrid one? It's basically a combination of both public and private models. Now, on some in hybrid, you can keep some of the data on public, which you believe that it's not that much confidential, it's not that much critical, whereas some of the data you could keep on private cloud. So being myself, I know the intensity of data, like which data is crucial for me and which data is public for me. So what you need to do is you'll keep the data on the public cloud, which is not that much critical, and because you cannot afford the complete private cloud, so you'll use the hybrid cloud, and that is that some of the data will be used on public cloud, whereas some of the data will be used on private cloud. So it's merger of these things, right? So this provides clients with greater flexibility, and although it's more expensive, it is significantly cheaper than private cloud. So usually a person would go for it, which requires some confidential information to be stored, whereas there is some general information. So usually a person will go for hybrid cloud, and it's cheaper than private but expensive than public. Guys, are there any questions till now? If yes, you can ask. The students, those are taking the live class, can text me on Zoom chat box and I'll reply to your queries. In fact, I have opened the chat box, so if there are any questions, you guys can ask. Yeah. So we went to the products as well as we went to the method of deliveries, right? Now, benefits, we do have many benefits here, right? In the number of reasons why it is more attractive. The thing is that it provides easily scalable both a provision of the service both up and down, right? Reducing costs, significant changes. So it reduces a significant cost. In fact, it reduces a significant managing that you need to do, right? So it reduces that. Clients can have instant access to cloud service systems, right? Avoid lengthy systems development and implementation. Cloud service companies have enhanced security measures which reduce threats to clients' data and system integrity, right? Similarly, instant access, yeah, that's one of the benefit. It enhanced the service provider that's basically dealing with the thousand of entities data. So it would do, it would enhance the protocols, it would enhance the firewalls, so it would have an enhanced security measures. It's one of the benefit. So what you need to do, you need to memorize the points mentioned on each and every page, so that if you need to if you're writing in an exam, so you could remember the pre-scene and you can reference it to it, right? Data can be accessed and processed at any time over the cloud from any remote location, right? Or using any devices. You can access that data using any device, right? The cloud enables clients to share data easily. It supports collaborative working over diverse locations, right? So you can use that in diverse locations, and maintained by the cloud service provider, reducing the clients to employ expensive IT specialists. Yeah, so we do not have to employ that, right? Because our service provider is going to be doing that. Then client do not require expensive space to accommodate hardware. It's for sure. You do not have to require expensive space to accommodate that hardware, right? As the technology is managed and accommodated by cloud service provider. Now, the challenges and the developments. So we got some benefits now. You must be remembering these benefits now as well as the challenges, because the explanation of these things can be a question, right? The explanation of these things can be a question here. Yeah, so the far end. Now what does it tell? The far end cloud service sector is growing rapidly and anticipated in double in the size of next 5 years. So that means it's going to be expanding double in the next 5 years, right? Then this means that both of the nature and extent of competition within the industry is likely to change. That means it would drastically change what currently the industry is and how it's going to be in the upcoming future. You can easily see that teaching was not that much online if before the pandemic, but when the pandemic came, in fact, teaching, in fact, any of the work have gone online. Many entities have gone from work from home. Many virtual organizations have been made, right? So now what does that mean? That means that complete structure is changed, right? So they believe that it's going to be double in the size in next 5 years, and the structure would be completely changed what currently it is now, right? Considerably over the period, with clients' demands becoming more challenging to satisfy. And client will be a more challenging person here, right? It would challenge multiple other options. Now, more global competition is emerging, so the industry may become dominated by a small number of large, well-established IT companies. Now, competition would be a challenge. The other challenge was the growth, that it would go so much rapid and the demands would not be that much easy to satisfy. And the other one is the competition. The other challenge is the competition, right? There would be denominate a small number of large established companies. They could have affected by reducing the influence of smaller file and cloud service companies, right? Now, clients are highly dependent on high-speed internet. So there must be a high-speed internet also, right? If there's not a high-speed internet, it's going to be an issue now. So you must have got the high-speed internet, right? Although this is currently not an issue in farland, but there are a number of different internet providers. It is critical that farland internet and broadband keeps pace up with demand. Yeah. Now there's a constant risk from hacking. Yeah, it would be an easy risk. Now at an SBL level, they give you the risk, right? They give you the challenges, and they need explanation of these. So that's an easy thing. They identify the challenges here, right? Now data loss, distributed denial of service, unscrupulous external sources. A distributed denial of service attack involves excessive activity from an unidentified source, which significantly slows down the system and reduces its operational performance. So this kind of an attack would reduce your operational performance, would give you some loss, right? Would give you some loss, and along with that, it will I'll say slows down your system, right? So that means you might not be able to get the right amount of data from on the right time because it's been hacked, right? So there's a risk of hacking. It's the potential challenge of hacking. Now, what were the challenges now? The rapid growth and the demands. Then there will be a competition, then high-speed internet and keeping pace up with the internet. Along with that, constant risk of hacking, right? Now, the regulatory requirements associated with cloud services are evolving and may turn out to be more challenging. So the regulatory requirements, right? They are the challenging here. The regulatory requirements are the challenging here, right? The regulatory demands may become more costly and onerous, right? Now there's a constant demand of highly skilled and technical knowledgeable employees. So demand for the employees, that you got the right talent for the right job, it is one of the challenge. The regulatory requirements and the keeping up with the laws, it's a challenge. Then the demand for skilled labor, right, is a challenge within cloud service industry. However, the availability of suitability qualified staff is rapidly growing. So it's growing, right? It's growing. They are in short supply and very costly to employ. So this is a challenge to apply, get the right resources, right? Then we have the client service innovation. Now what these products offer. So the following areas of development have been identified: future success and all cloud businesses which provide the SaaS service model within the file and cloud service industry. So now the industries which give you the SaaS one, right? The industries which give you this service have to develop their technological developments. So they, with SaaS, what they give you the BI, the business intelligence. That means the processing your data to help you in decision making, to get you done the analytics, to give you the past trends, to give you the past data, the analytics. So that's basically the BI, right? It's basically a simpler way to extrapolate the data and get the resultants out of it. So BI systems collect, store, and process data to provide clients with meaningful information. So it's basically a processing of data to give you the information so that you can easily get your decision making done, right? So if BI were offered on the cloud, it would satisfy the growing demands from clients to BI systems combined with other benefits. So now if a cloud, if BI is implemented on the cloud, now what does that mean? That cloud got your data, BI is analyzing your data and give you a processed form of data, so you could easily decide what to do. Similarly, if I can ask you, if you travel through a particular route, you can ask the Google that what's the update on that route. The Google would let you know that by using that route, what's the probability that you'll be on your office on time, what's the probability of the weather, what's the probability of the accidents that usually went through this route. So this BI means that your data is being stored on cloud, and now they'll get the data from it and they'll give you the processed form of it. So you could decide the exact route, you could decide the exact number of hours, you could get easily things, right? Now quantum computing is basically an updated form of BI. It's more simpler data to be processed. It's I'll say a complex data where there are many scenarios, where there have many outcomes, and this is basically quantum computing. So performs a complex data processing. It's not that much easy. You can classify it that BI being used for the smaller entities where there is a complex entity or there's a complex performers. You can use the quantum computing here, right? If quantum computing is offered on the cloud, it could dramatically increase both the processing capability and performance of clients, right? So this could prove to be a unique selling point for the cloud service provider. So if someone is offering this product, they must give you a quantum computing, because it can be the USP, unique selling point. People going for SaaS or the clients going for SaaS could ask you for the quantum computing, and you must have that, because if there are bigger industries, just like pharmaceutical, it have many complexities, many data, many scenarios to be looked into it and then analyze the correct way out. So quantum computing is required there, right? Then we have AI. Simply, I'll say Siri or Alexa or your any voice controller, anything. That's basically AI, right? So AI is technology which simulates human intelligence, right? Think and act. You can ask your Siri partner that what do you need, which route you choose, and it will answer you, right? If you want to turn on the lights, if you want, in fact, there is an I'll say basically automatic fridges. If you know that your fridge will automatically place your order, right? So what's that? It's the AI, right? So if available over the cloud, it would enable clients to access and harness its advanced capabilities with business operations and lower cost. Then there's machine learning, right? Now what's that? It's more sophisticated form of AI. Again, AI was the simpler form, and more complex and more sophisticated form is AI, which allow applications to more accurately forecast results, right? Without being explicitly programmed to do so. Having this facility on the cloud could be a game changer for many clients who would not otherwise afford such complex technology. Now, ML includes diverse range of technologies, including voice recognition and virtual assistants. So again, ML is advanced form of AI, right? AI is basically a simpler thing like Siri and Alexa, whereas there is an retina scan, whereas there is an voice recognition, whereas there is an more complex things to be looked after, more complex analysis to be looked after, more complex results to be looked after. Then we have machine learning. Obviously, it would have more scenarios to it, right? It will be more expensive. It will give you a more better analysis and would help you in deciding or getting the forecasted results, right? So it will basically consider each and every scenario. It would have greater storage capacities, and it will allow to get in each and every scenarios and to look after it, right? So these were the innovations that are required, and mainly in SaaS, that BI, quantum computing, then AI and machine learning. Now we have operational and financial KPIs. Now what's that? It's basically service availability. You must be available to provide the service. It's usually the 100% in this industry, and you must have been 100% because you must have the storage available that client can use this, right? You cannot say to the client that we do not have the storage capacity. It's not possible. You must be available to the client, whether or not they have utilized your service. You must be available. Then a capacity utilization. Now these are the KPIs on which the industry would be looked into it, right? These are the KPIs on which the industry is going to be looked into it. Then capacity utilization, measure of proportion and available cloud services, right? That means that you must be utilized. Now it's one of the KPI. Obviously, you cannot get yourself utilized 100% every time. It's not that much possible, right? The availability could be 100%, but the utilization could not always be 100%. Then there's service reliability, right? The number and duration reported service failures in a given period. Then we have security breaches, the number of security breaches identified in a given period, right? So these are basically your operational KPIs, right? Now see, security breaches, it would if there is a confidentiality breach, if you have lost any particular data, so it would lead to penalties. That's the financial KPI, but it would lead to bad reputation. It would lead customers not coming towards you because you have lost someone's data, you got yourself hacked. So it's also an operational KPI, right? There should be a reliable service, there should be maximum capacity to be utilized, there should be service availability, and there should be security breaches. Now there's an average revenue per client. Now what's that? Financial KPIs, right? The average amount of revenue generated from an individual client. Now that's the KPI, right? And because of this thing, I believe that there could be a performance analysis asked, right? There could be a performance analysis asked in this question because they have given you KPIs, right? So they could give you the budgeted KPIs, what they expected and what exactly they got, and then you have to look for it, right? And then you have to analyze the KPIs. OPM, ROS, you exactly know that. You have done these questions again, many things here. And then there's a security breach again. The security breach is operational KPI as well as the security breach is operational KPI as well as your financial KPI. Reason being that because of this breach, you can get penalties, right? You can get sued. So this has an issue here, right? The financial impact the comprises compensation. If the client has got lost because of your breach, then you have to pay them. You have to pay them, right? Now see, there's an information on your company. Now that's an easy thing, right? So you got an information on your company. Now what's that? Just look into it. Is a well-known cloud service operating in far land. So that's great. Was established 10 years ago by 3 software engineers. We knew that. They recognize that the rapid growth in demand for cloud service with great opportunity to use their combined knowledge, operates in a public cloud service company so that it can target a wide client base to small, medium-sized entities. Now, it gives you a public cloud service, right? Now, provides comprehensive data storage facilities at range of servers for the storage, sending data and requiring networking services. NCTech has never offered the PaaS or SaaS service models. Now, that means, now what does that mean? That means that NCTech offers only this service, the infrastructure as a service. They just give you the storage facility. They do not give you the platform or the software. Now, there could be a question that like the decision making question that can we go in this particular segment? They could ask you to do the analysis on it, right? Now, the initial shareholder investment was supported by venture capital, which was repaid when NCTech listed on Farland Stock Exchange 5 years ago. So that means they initially got the help from the venture capital, but then they got it back. Each of three still has 10% stake. The remaining shares are held by a number of institutional investors. So 10% each, and then there is dilution in the investment, and the rest ones are the institutional investors which have lower than 10%, right? So that the board runners are these. They have lower investment there. Now, three founding owners remain fully committed to the business and currently hold the positions of these. So the owners are these positions, right? The current board membership has not changed in the last 5 years, so there have been no change. So there could be a CG requirement also, corporate governance, that the board is not changed. And I guess every 7 years you need to get some new directors, right? Now, shares in NCTech have performed better in the similar tech companies on the far end over the last 5 years. However, in last financial year, there has been an unforeseen significant fall in gross profit. So that means the last year was not that much good. And again, in performance analysis, you could be asked for the reason, right? For this performance analysis, reasoning, this is a strong chance that you'll get the numbers, and you could have been asked for the analyzing or mentioning the reasons that why they could not perform well in this, right? The absence of any dominant shareholder mean that board is generally free to run. So the board is free to run because there are no dominant shareholders, because everyone of holds less than 10%, right? Now, vision, mission, and corporate values. Now, what's the mission? The mission basically that why this organization exists, right? The mission is why this organization exists. Now, that's the mission. What's that? Constantly achieving excellence. This is the reason that we exist. Differentiating ourselves by exceeding expectations of our clients, developing and maintaining strong NCTech brand, developing sustainable relationships, and maintaining a profitable business model. So this is all the things because of that we exist, right? Then core values. What's the core values? Energy, grasp opportunity and make things happen. Excellence, strive to do things better. Excitement, foster challenge, trust and respect to and from colleagues. Teamwork, ethics, promote and show integrity, right? So this is ethics. Now board structure. So it's 1 plus 5 entities, right? 1 is it and 5 here. Then we have 1 CE and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5 EDs. So that means you have 6 entities and 6 EDs. So that means a balance on the board. Then subcommittee, audit committee, we have strong financial background. So it cannot be a weakness here, right? Then nomination committee, although the board has remained unchanged, but there's a nomination committee, remuneration committee and risk committee, right? 3 entities and the human resource director. So it's usually in remuneration committee, there should only be entities, right? In nomination committee, there should only be entities. In risk committee, there can be EDs as well as entities, right? So in remuneration committee, I guess there's a problem. So they have an HR director, but again, it's from HR, right? So it could be possible, although the best suggested is entities, right? So NCTech fully compliant with foreign corporate governance code. So NCTech maintains a register, principal register. So question on risk would always be there, although they must have identified the risk. See, they have identified the risk, right? But the question can be to analyze how to mitigate that risk. So again, a question on risk is also possible, right? So risk register, the risk committee determines the nature and extent of the risk, is willing to accept and deliver success, right? The risk committee is also responsible for maintaining and monitoring the systems of internal control, risk management activities coordinated by team led by a risk manager who reports to both operation director and chair of risk committee, right? So risk management activities are basically led by the risk manager who reports to both operations director and chair of risk committee. Now we have competitive threats. Now what's that? New entrants. Now these are the risks which you guys have. NCTech have competitive threats, the competition, staffing concerns, yeah, loss of key personnel. If your one key personnel has left, you're gone. So loss of key personnel, bypassing internal procedures, regulatory breaches, unethical behavior, right? So technology issues, lack of internet availability, service availability. So these are the issues. Now you can see the challenges that were mentioned of the industry are kind of a risk for the company as well. Data security, unauthorized access, regulatory changes. So many of these were the challenges mentioned by the industry, and many of these are of the risk of NCTech. So that means it falls in that industry, and the challenges are usually the risk of that particular thing. So the question on risk can be asked, and you have to analyze and how to mitigate that risk, right? Strategic position. So the strengths of ours: a good reputation, strong relationship, the provision of secure and reliable services, a capable and competent workforce. Weakness: service model offered to clients has never changed. Yeah, you could suggest them to go for the new service models also. Several large overseas cloud service companies have recently entered in the foreign market, deteriorating retention of key members of staff, worsening financial performance, high dependency on internet service providers that enables client to access the NCTech. So dependency on the internet service, right? Then we have the dashboard. It gives you the numbers, like our revenue has fallen. So financial analysis, our GP has fallen. The reason needs to be investigated. Might be because the customer might have shift from infrastructure to platform and software, and although we just offer infrastructure, so it's kind of a concerning problem for us that we offer only one product, right? Then 2914 PAD also fallen, then ROS also fallen. So the last year was not that much good, which they have told you, right? Security breaches, they are declined, so a good thing. Service availability to clients, it was 96%. Why not 100%? They must have been maintaining the storage facility, so they must have, right? Satisfaction, it's included, it's increased. And then IES market share, yeah, see, the IES market share has been gone down. So one of the reason of the bad performance is that we offer only one product. So it's kind of a bad performance, I'll say, right? It's kind of a bad performance, I'll say. Now you have gone through the numbers, you have read the data, so we could estimate any particular requirements that can be asked, right? What I believe is there could be some performance analysis, and it might not be on numbers, it might be on KPIs, right? It might be on KPIs. So you could have that. Then we can have risk explanation and mitigation, right? Then we can have questions on expanding the product portfolio. We could have that, right? So this could be one of the question. If we are going to expand. right? Then we can have question on data storage or big data, right? Big data can be an important one here, and storage facilities. So big data could be a topic that